So here's the exterior. I'm going to take you on the inside also, but I figured I'd show you. It's nice and clean out here. And it's got that structure in the back, 2-car garage, and also an upstairs we'll take a look at. At the end of the video, I'll run some numbers. Hey out there in YouTube land. I've been itching to make a video. I haven't made one, especially on real estate in a while. I've been looking, but I can't find anything out there. Everything's so pricey. It's outrageous! However, I have a friend of mine that's interested in this house that I'm in right now. It's in Keansburg. So I said, well, as a realtor, let me see if I can get inside. And sure enough, here I am. Let me give you a little bit of background. It's in Keansburg. I got that one investment property in Keansburg that I had a little bit of a tough time, a little bit, getting a CO on that house. It came through and it was a good investment. So I'm over here now. A couple of things I look for before I even come out to a house in Keansburg is it in a flood zone? This is in a flood zone. So at first I was up in the air like, oh, can you even get flood insurance on this property? However, let me show you. They already started the CO process and they got the final inspection later on today. The inspector's name on that CO inspection like schedule sheet thing, Paul, he's amazing. He was the one shining light when I bought that house in Keansburg that I enjoyed doing business with. He's a great guy. So I don't think you're gonna have a problem with getting a CO on this house. However, I've seen some things that were possibly questionable. Let me show you. I'll give you a little tour. Here's the front door that you walk in. You come into like a little porch area. I would imagine that this was a open porch at one time and they enclosed it. New floors. They still have a lot of little stuff that they have to finish in the house. Like they did a lot down here on the first floor, but it's not completely finished. I like these floors. I like the dark wood. And everything's freshly painted. They did quite a bit of work downstairs, but I'm going to show you upstairs. Still needs to get done. Did a new kitchen over here. Everything's nice and clean. Got a bathroom over here. Nice clean bathroom. Behind me is the stairs to the basement. Now, you rarely get a basement in a flood zone for obvious reasons, because when it rains, it gets wet usually. Little background story, I have a house in Union Beach that had a basement, and it's in a flood zone, and they made me fill the basement with rock and soil in order to support the walls. I forget what the engineer said, but anyway, it was kind of costly to do that. And I guess if they're getting a CO here, they're not going to make you do that. However, there's water down there right now, so that's not a good sign. The only thing I'll say is that the past couple of days it really rained, so I don't know if it's always wet, but I would imagine one of the first things you're going to want to do is if you buy this house, there should be a sump pump, but I don't see it. But all this stuff, if it goes any higher, it could damage the HVAC, water heater. That's a sizable water heater too. So you're gonna have to look into this because it's all wet. Oh, let's see what's in this back room. So you got mud room back here, so I guess washer dryer hookup. You see through that window over there? That's what caught my eye, that structure back there. All right, so let's take a walk upstairs. They have to do something with the stairs to finish them off. I mean, it's as easy as painting them and putting a runner down the center, I guess. Now, what do we have here with 9x9 tiles? Whoever said asbestos, you were right. Asbestos tiles, 9x9. It's not guaranteed, but 99% of the time, it's asbestos. From my experience, it's not that big of a deal. However, if you want to use it as a negotiating tool to get the price down, you might be able to. So let me show you the rest of this. So I don't know if it's mandatory that you take this up. It might be. I'm surprised the inspector didn't say anything about it. I don't know if you could just go right over it. You might be able to. So it's painted, but it needs floor coverings, obviously. And then you just got plywood over here. So this is the second floor. I got a house not too far from here, the one I was talking about earlier, that's a similar setup. I'd love to put a bathroom up on the second floor. It's just, as far as the expense and getting money back, it's not worth it most of the time. So you got a school across the street, which is I guess a pro and con, depends. This is the house, freshly painted on the outside. And as an investor, this sucker caught my eye. Now it's a 2-car garage, but upstairs is living area. On the listing, it specifically says cannot be used as a 2-family. Yeah, right. So, I'm not saying that I would absolutely use it as a 2-family. So you got your HVAC over here, you got water here, and you're going upstairs. It's a 1-bedroom. No kitchen in here. I would imagine the kitchen was here, but there's no kitchen. And I would imagine in order to get the CO, you can't have a kitchen in here. So you got a little bathroom over here, shower, full bath, living area, right? And a bedroom. As an investor, would I push the envelope and have a renter up here? What could you get for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Keansburg? There's nothing else out there for a decent amount of rent. I think you might be able to get between like $1,400 to $1,700 for rent. However, it wouldn't be legal. I don't know if legal's a word. Zoning would not require, you know what I mean. You see where the driveway ends and then you got like long grass here? If you really wanted to, you could extend that driveway so it came over to that 2-car garage, because the 2-car garage is just a 2-car garage. You could either turn that into additional storage, or I don't think you can pull your car in there. Those garage doors are really small. So the house has potential. As an investor and being creative when I buy properties, one of the appealing things of that house is that living area, that 1-bedroom, 1-bath above the 2-car garage. However, that's not everybody's cup of tea, because you'd really have to push the envelope. The town's already telling you that it cannot be a 2-unit. You cannot rent that out. And then you go ahead and rent it. How would you get caught? The neighbors. The neighbors would say something about other people being up there. So you'd have to really get kind of creative. You'd have to know the person that was living up there. There couldn't be a rental agreement. If there was ever a problem, it could come back and bite you in the butt. So I'm not saying it's everybody's cup of tea. However, that can offset a big portion of your mortgage payment. If the interest rates are around 6%, 6.5% right now, and you got a $300,000 loan on there, you're looking at about $1,800, $1,900 for the mortgage, and then you got taxes. Here's something to take into consideration. Not a lot of people take into consideration. You got to look at what the assessed value is right now compared to what you're buying it for. So right now, that house is assessed at about $150,000, and the yearly taxes are $5,000. Once the town gets wind that you bought it for over $300,000, they're gonna up the assessment, which means your $5,000 a year in taxes is probably going to be about $7,000, possibly $7,500. So just take that into consideration. What else? Here's a big factor. Before I put too much time and effort into doing anything, if you were at all interested in putting an offer in on that house, I'd reach out to a flood insurance company first, just to see. If the town says it doesn't have to be raised, great. First obstacle out of the way. Second obstacle, can I get flood insurance on that house? You're going to need flood insurance unless you're paying cash for the house. And one of the reasons why I'm saying that's concerning is because of the basement there, like I talked to you about the one that I had in Union Beach where I had to fill it. Not only did I have to fill it with rock and soil and stuff like that in order to support the walls, but I had to bring all the mechanicals upstairs. I had to do away with the water heater that was down there and the furnace. So I had to get a wall unit that was upstairs, and that costs a lot of money. I'm not saying it wouldn't be worth it in this case, but if you find out that you can't get flood insurance as is and you don't want to spend the money, which if you put an all-in-one unit upstairs, you have to find a space, the plumbing's expensive, you're probably talking about possibly between $7,000 and $10,000 to move it upstairs, if that's something that they would allow. So yes, the house has potential, but it's got some other quirks in there that may not make it feasible. Here's the thing, there's nothing else on the market right now for that price. So if you don't buy it, somebody else is going to buy it anyway. That's where we're at. It's not as bad of a seller's market as it was, but at that price range, that thing's going to sell. I hope that helped.